Welcome to Recreative Cooking, guys. My name is Joe. We're going to be basically recreating Joshua Weissman's cold brew coffee today. This whole YouTube channel is going to be basically taking YouTubers' recipes and redoing them myself because I have no training in the kitchen, and I figured this would be a great way to learn. And they have pretty good instructional videos. So I'm going to take Joshua Weissman's cold brew recipe today, and I'm going to do it myself and see how it comes out. And I hope it's good because I love coffee. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 80 grams of what I have is regular ground Cafe Bustelo right here. In the future, most likely going to grind my own beans, but this is what I have on hand, so I'm going to use that. So 80 grams of that, and then 1,400 grams of cold water. And I'm going to do his first method. He has two methods. One is a little bit more, I think, hot water infused with. I'm not going to go into that. So what I'm going to basically do is just do the cold water method, which is pouring 1,400 grams of cold water into the old mason jar here. But you're going to need a bigger mason jar. So this one is 6 cups. So what we're going to do is add the 80 grams of coffee now. Let's pop that bad boy open. Get our scale out here. So again, I'm using Cafe Bustelo, but you can use, any kind of coffee you want. I'm making a mess over here, by the way. And I have my gigantic spoon so I can stir it at the end, which will make it a little bit easier just because I don't think I have many utensils that are long enough to go all the way to the bottom of this mason jar. Maybe a knife, but I don't condone stirring with a knife. So let's just keep adding this in here. 72 grams, we're almost there. 80 on the nose. Alright, so I'm going to put that to the side. Alright. Reset that so it's down to 0. And add the 1,400 grams of water. This is really easy, and the coffee apparently comes out really good. We'll have a taste test in a little bit, and we shall see. Also, you can do one of two things. You can let this steep, or I guess it would be steeping, or brewing, I guess. It'll be brewing for 12 to 24 hours, so whichever one you want to do. If you go more than that, I believe he was saying it would be a little bit more, just a bit more bitter. I don't know if I want to do that. I like my coffee a little bit more smooth. I only put 1 sugar in my coffee, so we'll see how it turns out. If I can drink this black or just with milk, I'd be kind of happy, so I want to cut down on the sugar. So 1,400 grams. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, got it. So it's almost the entire jug there, so that's cool. Now I know that's basically my cold brew water container there. It's perfectly almost on the nose what I needed. So I'm going to give it a stir, cap it off, and put it in the fridge basically. That's about it. You can see why I use this long spoon, just because it's a lot easier to get everything kind of incorporated in there. And what I like to do also is kind of lift the spoon up and push down all the grounds that are in there just to, try and get it to the bottom. You're not going to, but you can try. And also I kind of go in like an up and down stirring motion just to kind of incorporate everything some more. Alright, so we're going to cap that off. Throw that in the fridge. And 12 to 24 hours, we'll be good to go. That's basically cold brew. I like to give it one more shake just to get everything around the top there to like the middle-ish. So, through the magic of television and for the sake of time, I made some before and I have a little bit left. And I'm going to show you guys, there we go, how I brew, well, not even brew, how I would kind of strain all the grinds out of the coffee. So this is a pour over coffee maker. I got this one at Target for I think 20 bucks. Definitely a good buy. You can make hot coffee, you can do the cold brew with it, so it works all the way around. This is a little bit different of a case. So this is a metal strainer that I got with it. It came with the product. But what I do, this is already filtered, so I'm not going to do it again. But what I do is I use a paper with that just to get all the little slimy bits out of it, which you're going to eventually find at the bottom of your glass or at the bottom of your mason jar. If you can put this up to the light and you don't see anything floating at the bottom or anything like that, you're good to go. You should just see kind of like a crimson color throughout the entire mason jar. So I'm going to filter this as if there was grinds in here, and then I'll pour myself a cup of coffee and we'll go from there and have a taste test. So I'm going to pour it in basically like this. Now when you're doing this, just be careful that the grinds don't, flop out and all that stuff. That happened to me once, and I had a mess all over my table here. So you would do that, it would drip down into the bottom here. It's basically filtered pretty well, so it's just going straight through. And from there, I have a crazy ice machine in my fridge. It spits out ice like nobody's business. That time it was good to me. Other times where it's kind of mean. I'll get that eventually. So all right, let me just pour this here. This one was steeped for or brewed for 24 hours, or just under, maybe 23 hours. So I'm gonna do that. Pours basically 1 full cup of coffee. I had a few cups in here and I gave it to a few friends to try. This will be my second tasting of it. My first one was 12 hours. This is going to be my first 24-hour tasting. So I can kind of give you guys the difference in bitterness and flavor and all that. But it did come out good for the 12-hour one, the first. Basically, you can double the recipe or whatever you want to do to get more coffee. But what I like to do is kind of just make it every single day. So then the next day you have 24-hour brewed cold brew. So I'm going to drink this just the way it is now, and then I'm going to probably grab some milk and do it that way. It's not bitter. It has more of like a coffee flavor to it. So the first time I did it, it tastes a little bit more like water flavored coffee, which this one tastes more like coffee, but it's not bitter. I don't drink my coffee black. I know there's ice in here, but I mean, how much water could it have added to this in such a short amount of time to kind of take away the bitterness? I don't think so. I think that it's just not as bitter, to be honest. Yeah, not as bitter at all. The way that this is kind of working for me is, I'm thinking I might have, if I just add milk to that, it'll be, I don't really drink milk too often, so I'm going to use cashew milk, which to me tastes basically the same. And kind of see that going on. That's going to be very, very beautiful, if I do say so myself. Quick stir. Okay, let's see how this is. I'm pretty sure I don't need sugar anymore, guys. That is, it's not sweet, but it definitely doesn't have a bite to it like most coffee would if you would drink it black or just with milk. The cold brew, I feel like, definitely helps to pull out all that bitterness, all that acidity out of it. And it definitely, to me, tastes a lot cleaner, if that makes sense. I don't even know if that makes sense. I dig it. I'm on it. Joshua Weissman, thank you, man. If you watch this, love the recipe, love the videos. And yeah, I'll have a few more episodes coming. I'll have, a ton more. I'm going to do sourdough from Joshua Weissman. I'm going to do a few things from Brothers Green and a few things from Alex French Guy Cooking. 3 of my favorite YouTube channels, and they have a ton of recipes that I can try. And if you guys have any other recipes, leave them down below. I am not opposed to anything, so let me know. And yeah, until next time, guys, have a good one.